All right. Where would you gentlemen like to go now?
A lot of podcasting going on.
Hey, I rock the party that rocks the party.
You was working on that.
Come on, man.
That wasn't freestyle.
Come on, what they want to do. What they want to do. Even the sound of my voice is a pod.
Where we want to start?
Well.
The air horn made me feel like you were ready to come with a topic.
Oh, I thought we was getting podcast shit.
I know. There's a couple podcasting things.
Well,
here.
we've got a GoDaddy update. Well, on both sides, we've got both sides.
GoDaddy update. No, it's not the place that makes websites.
Oh yeah, GoDaddy. We've got a Call Her Daddy update. I like this because we get both sides of the spectrum. Being Call Her Daddy as two beginner podcasters, and we have Joe Rogan, who is the shark of all sharks. He's the big white whale, the big white whatever it is, the biggest
Shark Week.
one. Yeah. So we have intel on them both.
Intel. No, we don't. It's to the public.
Outtell.
Yeah, it's Outtell.
We've got some out. It's gone out already. We've got Outtell on them both. So Dave Portnoy, Barstool Boss, has replied to all of the Call Me Daddy podcast rumors, rumblings, and allegations.
On their stream.
He did so on the Call Me Daddy stream. This was about a 30-minute rant where he addressed everything from his POV. He did mention the Post article that first made note of some of these rumors and some of the unhappiness going around with the two co-hosts. And he went in depth the way that he normally does. That's the thing about Dave, man. To be the boss of a company but still have that like rant shit in you where you'll tell some shit.
No, he's one of those few CEO personalities that tend to create businesses like this one.
Yeah, he's not the behind the scenes guy.
No, he's their main personality and their CEO.
And Dave is really, really, really bright. And
very smart guy.
Erica is really, 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 really bright too. So I really respect what they do over there. And I listened to this. As soon as it dropped. 30 minutes worth of drama.
Yeah.
The Cliff Note version would be they started a podcast for maybe $70,000 a pop.
It was 3 years, $70K plus bonuses.
3-year deal plus bonuses. 6 months in, one of them went to the other one. 6 months in, he raised both of their salaries.
I'm cutting you off only to say he reached out to Alex, I believe her name was, and said, "Hey, I think you have something cool over here. Let's talk about building this." I think that's a very key point in the entire thing.
Yeah, they had something.
This wasn't. They didn't have a full podcast. She had put out IG clips, I believe, of something along the lines of this.
They had something on Instagram that made Dave reach out.
Yeah. And then offered them. They had like 6 to 8 meetings or something like that. Offered them the 3-year deal, $70K plus bonuses. In the first deal, they had a dispute on who would own the IP. There was some pushback. David said, "There's no point in Barstool building you guys up just for you guys to leave. We need to own the IP, intellectual property." And they eventually budged on that, and the 3-year deal had Barstool owning that.
That was their first mistake. When I listened to that, that was, to me, that was like, okay, that was their first mistake. Like you can't negotiate and then say, okay, you can have the IP Call Her Daddy, and then try to then backtrack and say, oh no, but we own it. It's like, no, you don't. And he was very adamant, like that's what they wanted. They wanted that name. They wanted the IP.
What was confusing for me about that part was if you are adamant about owning the IP, then it means that you should understand the true value of it. So then why would you waver for $70,000 a pop?
That's what I'm saying. That's why to me, anything after that was like, oh,
but they did.
Yeah, but they did.
But
and it worked.
I get Barstool.
It worked.
In saying that. Of course, you should fight for your IP, but in Barstool's defense, you're coming into a entire fan base that's been built for God knows how many years, and the moment we put something out, our fan base goes after it. So yeah, I need to own this.
And let me add that a lot of the companies are doing deals in which they look to own the property. That's what's going on right now. So none of that sounded strange to me.
No, I didn't think it was odd. There was something
they folded, they rolled, instant success. 6 months in, they both get raises. Within the first year, one of the members goes to Dave and asks for an increase in pay, making her higher paid than her co-host.
That was after the 6 months. 6 months they went in to ask for a raise. Alex got the raise. Sophia got the raise, but Alex's was more because, according to Dave, she does the editing, she does the producing, she does more, and he felt it was
and
warranted.
And he spoke to her more. His relationship was with her. Yeah. She did the speaking for the group.
So he felt in his POV that she deserved more money. So then we get to a year, and with bonuses off that $70K salary, Alex was making $500,000. Sophia was making $450,000.
That's a nice salary.
Yeah.
Especially when you started
at 70.
70 to a bonus.
Right.
So clearly this is
That's
drawing
a nice jump in year one.
Word.
You would have to imagine that by the end of that contract, Barstool should be in a position to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Dave and Big Cat, those are good guys. I don't think they're shady guys.
No, I mean, outside looking.
From what I know,
yeah,
and being around them, they seem like pretty cool guys. So, and then even hearing him talk, he was like, we just was trying to get something done that made sense for all of us. And he was like, then it started getting difficult after they started to see the success of it. And you know how that is. Once people start to see the success and people start getting in somebody's ear, and here come the bullshit.
Well, Dave said he has no problem paying a program if they outperform their contract with success.
Yeah, because it means they
clearly if they
too.
Went from 70 to $500,000 in a year.
Right.
Clearly they're paying them bonuses.
The merch was flying off the racks.
In the beginning, yeah.
This was a really profitable business.
Yeah, and this is all Dave's point of view, the numbers we're giving out. Sophia, from my understanding, refutes all of this. So this is just reacting to his point of view from what we heard. After a year, once they had made each almost $500,000, they got an attorney, Alex and Sophia together. They wanted $1 million guaranteed salary each. Freelancers, not employees. 50% of all revenue, merch, alcohol, and ads. Ability to sell their own merch and sell their own ads. 100% of the IP is what they went to counter after a year.
React.
Sounds reasonable. That sounds like you would reasonably want that.
Yeah.
Of course you would reasonably want that. In a realistic world, if you're Barstool, what are you doing with that offer?
Countering it.
Yeah. Negotiations.
I'm ripping that up. What on earth does Barstool have anything in this at all?
That's why it's called negotiation.
Right.
I'm not mad at them for bringing that to them. Like,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm not mad at them.
Of course they were supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I'm playing Barstool side here.
I love everything.
I'm just trying to give.
I love it. I love everything that they asked for.
We negotiate.
That's great. But I'm saying, as the people that have you under a 3-year contract, what do you think they're saying to that?
No, they're definitely not going to agree to that. But I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, but
for
it
presenting
still
that.
lets you know what time I'm on.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
We're still locked into a contract.
Right.
That's the one thing that Dave kept saying that I totally agree with. You're locked in a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Finish the contract, even though Music Joe never really abided by that. Yeah, I agree with Dave there. So during this term, I might say fuck off. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But if I know that they're willing to stop recording and I'm losing $100,000 or over $100,000 in advertising money every episode they don't record, my position may be different. And contrary to what some people might believe, I might have said this before in here, but during this pandemic, the creator's value is up, not down. It's not down.
No, not at all.
So, I mean, yeah, they stopped recording when their value was at their highest. I understand the move. And the move works perfectly if the two young ladies don't end up beefing with each other, which the article says later on that's what happened.
Yeah, that's implied.
Go ahead, Rory.
Well,
kick it to him.
Barstool did come back. Dave said he offered a raise. He didn't say the amount. He just said a raise. They can have the IP at the end of their contract, which was in 18 months, but Barstool needs 90% of the alcohol. That's the only thing they wanted to keep in the contract. And then he went on further to cut their contract time in 6 months, which made them less than a year that they could have just left with owning every single thing they had.
Yeah.
That's a nice deal, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That when I heard Dave say that again, his point of view, that was the nicest thing I think a CEO has ever given to anyone ever.
Well, yeah, because he's at that point he was just saying like, there was no way you cannot sign that deal.
Right.
I gotta say, from where his position started to where it ended in the negotiation,
It got to a point where it was like, okay, y'all basically just trying to like take everything from him,
Right.
and leave him with nothing.
yeah. But the fact that one of the young ladies, and Dave said that this played a huge role. The fact that one of the young ladies got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was Peter Nelson, head of HBO Sports. You can imagine how those conversations go.
Yeah.
And you can imagine some influence happening there. So
For sure.
I
And
could see that.
But you could also, there may be a lot of stuff that we don't know. Like maybe homeboy Nelson had something worked out for them somewhere else. Like
so, I mean, Dave kind of mentioned that again. He was suggesting this was just his opinion. It was not a fact at all. That he had heard a rumor that someone had given Peter and HBO a copy of some other contract that they've done with podcasts, and they were trying to find some gender discrimination rules, like somehow to get out of it. So while we're saying these counters and offers are nuts, they may have something on the table that's better.
I would think so.
And have a strategy to get out of that contract, so it wouldn't even matter what you're offering me.
Listen, you know Peter Nelson went to the girls and said, we can get this over here.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they was like, word, let's do it. But there's this contract that we're in. I mean, that's what it sounds like. We don't know shit. It's not fact based. I'm just theorizing.
Yeah.
I don't see
I know
how it could be
I get
anything
in
else,
trouble when I theorize about other podcasts out there, but I'm still at it. Yeah, I haven't learned my lesson just yet.
Well, yeah, the final counter that, of course, did not get signed. If you heard about this story, $500 guaranteed for both of them each. 7.5% of merch. Lower the contract length to a year from 18 months. Alex and Sophia each get 100% of the IP, 50-50 between the two of them. Barstool keeps 80% of the alcohol.
I don't even know. They have a liquor brand?
I don't know if that's
Okay.
It must be lucrative if that's what Barstool continues to hold on to.
Right.
What do you guys think of that? What Rory just read.
Again, I just think it comes down to the ladies saw what their podcast was worth. They saw the numbers that they could bring back. And obviously somebody got in their ear and was like, we have a potential bigger play on the table. Let's try to get out of this while we can, or faster than 3 years. And I think what Dave was saying was like, why would you? So what am I supposed to be left with? Like that was his position as a CEO. Like, so then I put you on my platform and it was successful and we upped your pay, and now I'm even negotiating to a point where I'm basically just have nothing, and you still not happy with that. It's like, so you're saying you just want to like just walk away from this and like it never happened and go your separate ways, and that's just not the way you do business. So I think that, you know, he sounds like he's being fair from his standpoint. He's actually taking a lot less than where he started.
For sure.
They're still not happy. So it's kind of like, okay, so what's really going on here? Why all of a sudden do y'all? And then he said that Alex was in, and now Sophia was the one
not.
That wasn't.
But
in.
then later he said Sophia came back after Alex agreed to the new contract.
Right.
And said, hey, I want that same deal. I'm down 50-50. And Dave said, nah. That deal's off the table.
Which is how
Alex
negotiations go
wanted
very often.
75-25 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
So it's basically they're trying to squeeze Dave into a position to where it's like, all right, now I'm just like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean?
Here's why I'm taking that last.
Who do you side
counter.
with?
Here's why I'm taking that last counter. We're kind of up in the air with what's going on with Corona and when things are going to change. So if I have a deal with HBO and my boyfriend and all that shit, that's not going to move.
And that's
anytime
we don't
soon.
know if.
We're all
Yeah, you
type
don't
of
know.
shit.
It
So
could
yeah,
move
Yeah, it could move.
soon.
Deals are getting done still.
of course deals are getting done. But
No,
if
the
I
phones are ringing now.
Yeah.
They are.
if I
Probably
can
more
take
than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I can take 1 year to just final, because we're gonna have to go to court either way. We don't know how long that's gonna take because Corona and everything. So I can't get out of my contract. That's what I was getting to, guys. Not that you can't make content now. The fact that a lawsuit has to happen for us to get out of this. I don't know when courts are open. Let me sign this. It's one fucking year. I'll get $500,000 and I'll own everything and leave Barstool and then go on to this deal that I'm already trying to negotiate behind the scenes.
I take that in a heartbeat. Me.
Yeah,
personally.
probably too.
Which one? The last deal that he put on the table?
The last one where you cut 6 months off the deal and I walk away with everything at the end of the term.
Fam, that's why Dave said there's no way you cannot take this.
Especially with what's going on now. We'd have to go to court.
I take that deal in a New York minute. I'm interested to hear why Sophia wouldn't.
There must have been a spectacular offer from somewhere else.
Well,
I would have
Dave
to
says
Fam,
that it's
nothing's gonna
rumored,
move without
they had an
a lawsuit.
offer at Wondery. Well, don't say that because you can be bought out of a contract.
Right.
So
That's true.
I'm not certain that Wondery would
I'm going off just what Dave said, that Sophia was suing Barstool and Alex. So I'm going off what was placed in front of me.
There's plenty of loopholes in which, or situations, let me say, because loopholes would be one of the situations where they would not resign. They could go somewhere else, like I said, get bought out. Maybe there's something in the language.
But bought out is the only option right now, unless you're suing.
Maybe they started a show under a new brand. I don't know what their individual exclusivity.
And on top of that,
that's the part we don't
when you're
know.
a
There's
dick
some
to people,
details
There's a lot of details.
Of course there is.
that we're missing.
But when you're a dick to people in negotiations, at this point, whether you want to say it or not, Dave does have the leverage because he has that 3-year contract. He can say, fuck out of here. I don't need your money for your buyout. I'm going to hold this.
No.
He can do that if he wants.
I disagree. Well, I don't disagree. I just don't know if I agree or disagree. On paper, Dave has the leverage. But like Maul said last week, the pack is fucked up. I don't know how Alex sounds alone. I don't know how Alex sounds with the new co-host that they have to put there. I don't know what they're doing. If Sophia does not come back, then I don't know what this looks like.
No, I'm saying my point to the last offer that he gave. Leverage here. No, I mean I know he went on to say we're trying to do a deal with Alex by herself.
Yeah,
now.
but he told
we don't know.
Shorty-
That could be fucked up.
He told Shorty fuck off though. So, like, what's next? We don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a response? Hey! We got action. I've been waiting to hear from these young ladies.
Oh, 12 minutes ago.
Oh, this just dropped. Breaking news. Nowhere else but the JBP do you get this type of news.
No, you get it on. It's on her Instagram.
Oh, it's everywhere now, but...
Then we took the show to Barstool Sports.
Okay.
There's been a lot of crazy shit being thrown around.
Word.
And
A lot of he say, she say
some of
out
it is
there.
true. Some of it is
Some
false.
of it is not.
I'm going to be 100% open and honest with you guys.
I tell more truth than the other person.
Why anytime there's a back and forth, both people are saying, I'm being 100% honest here.
Yeah.
Well, because
That's a lie.
Yeah, you both are liars. Shut up.
right.
3 sides.
They're being honest
Let me
to
just pick the lie that I like the best.
Yeah.
Alex and I created Call Her Daddy together.
What happened, Queen?
March of 2018, we created it, the two of us.
They got the dates.
And
They got
The March of
they
2018 date.
They got the dates, buddy.
at that
It's
time,
on.
we were best friends,
Take that, Dave.
roommates, arguably sisters. Daddy Gang, you know you've been there from the beginning. Then we took the show to Barstool Sports. Did Barstool Sports help blow up Call Her Daddy? 100%. After some time had passed, Alex and I then both decided we wanted to consider some other options for multiple reasons. One of them being for the benefit of the Daddy Gang, believe it or not. But we did. And do we regret the way we went about it? Absolutely.
Yeah, so you were wrong.
We could have handled it differently.
You were wrong. is what
But
you're saying.
we still wanted to work
Everything
something
after
out with
Buzz is
Barstool.
bullshit. Wait, what? What is she saying right now?
And
Oh, they see.
we could have handled it differently.
But we
but
still wanted to work something
We
out with
still
Barstool.
wanted to work something out with
No,
Barstool.
pause that, Rory. You can't steal second base and keep your foot on first. You cannot play both sides of the fence like that.
Wow, someone should put that in a rap.
I agree.
Shut
But,
up, Roy.
I mean, I understand what she's saying. Like, they probably still wanted to get something done.
When you want to get something done, you don't fuck it up.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
And you can search for other options while still thinking maybe the one we're in is the best one.
Yeah.
Got to see what's out there.
It's the meeting with Dave. And after the meeting with Dave, that's when negotiations started with both Alex and me to get a deal done. This is where the story gets extremely fucked up.
Where?
Right here.
I found out that Alex had gone behind my back and did something.
What?
And I found out it wasn't the first time.
What?
And that's why we're here.
She did what? Sophia? No, you lying. No, she didn't.
No, she did.
No, she didn't.
Come on. Everybody knows that about Alex.
Shut up. Shut up, why don't you?
I trusted Alex. I feel betrayed. But ultimately, she was my best friend, and that doesn't change overnight. And I'm willing to call her daddy. I really am. I just can't do it under the circumstances that she wants. I can't do it while she's demanding that she controls the show. I don't want to be like her employee.
Yeah, easy. Get Jerry out of here.
We are partners. We've always been that way.
Come on, Sophia Cube.
You're the employee. and I can see why, though.
Why?
Well, one person has been getting all of the business done and trying to keep relationships straight. One person has been influenced by their new boyfriend and has thrown all of this down the toilet. So what do you mean?
That doesn't make you straight to
off?
employee.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you're an employee.
No, it means you're making bad choices.
That means
as
you're
a partner.
fucking up business.
No,
Yeah.
you no. All right, that's what y'all say. No, you cannot give somebody that type of power that's going to run your business in the mud.
Partners have ran business into the mud more times than employees.
That's arguing my point. Well, that's why I'm saying you shouldn't make someone be in
no,
control that's going to run your company.
But you can't just make
that's
your
all
partner.
I'm saying.
You can't just make your partner. Well, I don't know their deal with each other, but you can't just make your partner an employee out of nowhere because you feel they made a bad decision. That's your partner.
You could fight for that.
You could fight for anything with the right lawyer.
So then why you beefing with me?
Not to say it's going to work, but you can.
But
fight
not
for
only
anything.
did she fight for it, she went about it. She stepped to Dave and said, "Yo, I need to be paid more." She's the one that maintained
they was both employees at that time.
But one of them stepped to Dave about being paid more, and one of them clearly had more focus in maintaining a relationship with Barstool.
It's not really the point we're bringing up at all. I
That-
agree.
but that's
with
the
you.
point.
I think
But that's
what
the
she's talking
point
about,
I'm
though.
bringing up.
I think that's what she's saying. Like, Alex did some shady shit.
Let's hear her.
Done. I trusted Alex. I feel betrayed. But ultimately, she was my best friend, and that doesn't change overnight. And I'm willing to call her daddy. I really am. I just can't do it under the circumstances that she wants. I can't do it while she's demanding that she controls the show. I don't want to be like her employee. We are partners. We've always been that way. We've always been 50-50. And so it's putting me in like an extremely tough position.
That's from the boyfriend.
So here we are.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think his influence is crazy in this entire thing, but no, I think that's just a straight up friend
That's her
partnership
talking
right
about
there.
her friend.
No. Listen to me. I agree with y'all about what she's doing. I'm only talking about the timing in which she is doing it, where I say, oh, that's the boyfriend. That's the influence there.
Maybe.
About putting out this statement right now.
No, because she could be replying to Dave right now. Right. But if Homegirl has been doing all the editing and maintaining of the relationship, I'm assuming that one just wasn't so focused on that.
Or maybe,
and now it sounds like she would like to be.
But that's
which is cool.
yeah,
So she's addressing why she felt betrayed by a friend. You went behind my back. You was doing all this shit, and I had no idea. And this don't work like that. I'm down too. It's not I work for you. Am I wrong?
No. Because if one person is maintaining the relationships, maybe because that's the job that they chose to take, and you're like, all right, cool, you handle that. Which is not the smart thing to do. Don't get me wrong. You should be involved. But if she already had a relationship, and she's like, no, I'm going to do the negotiation. You handle that. Cool. I'm not going to jump in the middle of it and be like, no, I'm going to jump in the negotiation too. If you're my voice and you're handling it.
Because many times when you have partners, let's say you have a client that has obviously a bunch of employees. All right, you seem to have a good relationship with this gentleman that just handles administrative shit.
Right.
So you just do that because we're better off negotiating with you over there.
Right.
When we do creative stuff, I'm cool with the creative department. I'll only focus on that type of shit. You split up duties when it comes to partnerships.
Right.
That's not a weird thing.
Okay. That's not really replying to what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is one of these people, and again, I'm speaking from the vantage point of not knowing whose value is what. I'm not all the way there in my knowledge of the forming of their show.
Right.
One of them has an offer for their own podcast to continue.
They both did.
Yeah, Dave.
No, that's not true.
Dave said, we'll do one with Sophia because they started fighting. So Dave said, all right, we could do 2 separate ones. Sophia, we'll put your shit on the Call Me Daddy shit, and you could take it any way you want.
Sophia's offers have been rescinded, is what I'm saying. They've been rescinded. She doesn't have an offer, which is why we're getting a video saying, hey, I still want to do it, but this is why I can't. Alex, the one who maintained the relationship, the one who's been editing and probably focusing a little more on the podcast, is greenlit for not only a new show, but a bigger percentage of shit.
Right.
Well, all of it.
That's
'cause
what
it's just her.
That's the point that I'm making. So, yeah, y'all not employees, y'all a team, blah, 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 blah. But clearly, how y'all go about the business is separate. Listen, one of the things I thank God most about this podcast, ours here, is that we're friends.
Right.
Because I could see, and I get sick of y'all sometimes, and y'all get sick of me sometimes. But at the end of it, we're friends.
Right.
It's tough playing the business game with people on air with you that's not your friend. You have to maintain that, all while playing the waiting game with the companies to come approach you and for them to get aligned with y'all thinking. You playing 2 whole different games. One of them is going to implode. That's how I feel about shit. Like, so I thank God that we're friends because you kind of avoid shit like this.
No, but that's what Sophia's saying she thought was the case. That they are
Yeah.
friends and that they would avoid some shit like this.
And let's say they started out both as employees. So when Alex goes to Barstool, she's only negotiating for herself. I'm just a lonely employee of Barstool. What she does with her salary is her business. If we are independent contractors and we're having that conversation, the difference of the two, and we have an LLC together that's split 50-50, when we go in together to negotiate. We're no longer just a sole employee.
Even if we're not physically together. Like
Yeah.
That, like I could see her feeling a way about her partner, who she thought she was negotiating on her behalf, is going in and negotiating more money for her and less money for her.
But they're employees. So it's like, I can't negotiate a salary for another employee.
But if I'm editing and you're not, then why can't I ask for more money than you?
Well, I don't think there was ever a beef about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what the beef was about.
The beef is she gets paid more and she went behind my back to ask for it. And Dave is saying, yeah, but she's been editing shit and
No, well,
my
that's
relationship is with her.
But that's a legit beef though. Like if you're my friend and you're going in there negotiating for more and you don't tell me that, that's a beef. Because you could tell me that and I'll be like, okay, cool, but let me at least
Well, in our
know what's
friendship,
going on.
whose job is it to say what gets disclosed and what does not?
Well, that's gonna always change because you might feel like there's things that you don't want to tell in business.
Like,
to
what
your
if I
friends.
need a couple extra dollars and I need it fast?
If we're partners, tell
I
me.
got to come tell you, yo,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hard on my ass.
That's what
If we're
partners are
friends,
called.
I got to
sure.
put my ego and pride to the side.
That's what partners mean.
And
Awesome.
friends.
See, I'm playing devil's advocate right now, but I stand on that moral code that y'all are talking about right now. However, that's rarefied air. That's not status quo.
And I think that's the position that Sophia's in with what she's saying in this video. But she keep going back to we're friends. So she just assumed that we're friends. We were friends before this business shit. We should be friends during and after this business shit.
And if you're friends on the same show, I'm sure you guys are talking about your salaries and the money that is being brought in.
Absolutely.
If I can
So,
get
yeah, I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna go see Dave
If I
about
can
my
get
shit.
75% of the pie now, yeah, you're my friend, but that's tempting for someone who maybe don't so much stand on that code we talking about.
Then you don't again.
And y'all ain't friends.
Right. I'm about to say then she feels different about your relationship.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding. We hit that in the head. Come on, where else will you get that type of unpacking?
Let's see what else she has to say. Was that the end of her?
So here we are.
You have to edit this
I
too.
do
We don't need to hear her whole
want
fucking
to
story.
tell the Daddy Gang how much I love them, especially the ones that
kind
have
of
stuck by
Yeah,
me,
I'm cool.
put into words how much it is meant to me.
Am I in the daddy gang?
I will be eternally grateful. You guys are the reason I'm here.
All right, come on. I don't want to hear anybody's
I was seeing
gratitude.
if there was more. I was making sure she wasn't getting any more points.
No. I'm fine with
All right,
that.
you just not daddy gang then.
Me?
Yeah,
Damn.
you're not gang.
That hurts. That's like me not getting a Rockefeller chain.
It's pretty much the same thing if you think about it.
Hove didn't give me a Rockefeller chain and then gave everybody a Rockefeller chain.
That's true.
Except for you.
Like, what a slap in the face.
And Fab, who's your man? Are you guys really friends?
Well, not according to Maul.
That is true.
According to Maul, I hate Fab.
That's not what I see. See how fast he changed it? That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. Don't do that.